Fossil fuels power the modern world, but they also pollute and warm it. Fossil fuels are used as a source of energy. This energy fuels our cars, heats our homes, and lights our schools. Fossil fuels are natural substances that formed over millions of years. Examples of fossil fuels are oil, gas, and coal. People have used fossil more and more since the Industrial Revolution, which started in the mid 1700s. This is when new manufacturing processes came about. By the early 2000s, almost all of the world's energy supplies were from fossil fuels. But fossil fuels are non-renewable resources, which means once we use them, they are gone forever. It takes millions of years for more fossil fuels to be made. Coal. Coal is one of the most used fossil fuels. Almost one-third all of the electricity in the US comes from coal. Most coal formed from plants that grew in or near swamps, which happened about 359 to 299 million years ago. Dead plant matter fell into the swamps and settled at the bottom. Over millions of years, sediment covered it. The weight of the sediment compressed the decaying plant matter. This formed peat. Over time, more layers of sediment covered the peat. Pressure and heat changed the peat into soft coal. Then, more heat and pressure changed it even into a harder form of coal. Hard coals are considered the best kind of coal. They burn the hottest and do not release as many pollutants into the air as other types of coal. Petroleum and natural gas. Petroleum or oil and natural gas formed through a similar process, often in the same swampy location. They were made from buried remains of tiny water organisms. The organisms died and sank to the muddy swamp bottom. Then their buried remains changed into a substance called kerogen. Over millions of years, heat and pressure from more sediment layers changed into kerogen into petroleum. Some of the petroleum was liquid and some was gas. Natural gas formed at the deeper, hotter locations. The main fossil fuels used today are made from oil. These include gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel, and oils used to heat. Kerosene was used a long time ago to provide light. It is still used in many places for cooking and is also the main fuel for jet engines. Natural gas is used for heating, cooking, and to generate electricity. Other fossil fuels. Peat and coke are solid fossil fuels. Peat is used for heating where other fuels are not available, but it burns slowly and produces a lot of smoke and not much heat. Coke is what is left over after the gases and tars are taken away from some types of coal. Coke is used to make iron, and in other processes, as a fossil fuel reserves are used, the search for other fossil fuels have increased. Two such resources are oil shale and tar sands, which contain fuel sources. But taking out the useful substances is difficult and expensive, so these resources are not a good fuel option. Where fossil fuels are found. Fossil fuels are not found equally around the world. For example, the United States, Russia, and China have the largest coal deposits. Australia, India, South Africa also have large amounts. More than half the world's known oil and natural gas reserves are in the Middle East. That means the Middle East contains more oil than the rest of the countries combined. Disadvantages of fossil fuels. There are two major downsides of fossil fuels. The supplies are limited and they cause environmental harm. Burning petroleum and coal releases harmful gases into the air. These gases pollute the air and create acid rain. Burning fossil fuels emits carbon dioxide. Over the years, this has increased the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Scientific evidence shows that the increased temperatures and the warming of the Earth's atmosphere is called the greenhouse effect. It contributes to climate change, which is a serious environmental concern. These problems have led to new technology. Scientists and engineers are developing new ways to generate power without using fossil fuels. For example, some cars use electricity instead of gasoline to drive. Homes can be heated using energy from the sun, and some electrical power plants use power from wind or water. These alternative energy sources are forms of renewable resources. That means, unlike fossil fuels, they cannot be depleted. Also, they do not emit carbon dioxide, which can help fight climate change.